Hey guys, Kinda Funny is having a holiday sale. That's right. If you go to kindafunny.com/store for the next week, from Black Friday until the next Friday, you can get 10% off everything in the entire store. That's all the beautiful shirts that you know and love. That's the cups, the mugs, the stickers, all of that stuff is there. And the Let Tim Host shirts there for this week only. You need that. You need that in your life. Oh, are these all the T-Shirt Tuesday shirts that we exclusively had only on those Tuesdays? Yeah, they're back for 1 week only. All of them in one place. Buy them for you. Buy them for your sister, your friend, your neighbor, whoever you want to buy them for, even people you don't know. It's going to be great. 10% off. kindafunny.com/store. This episode is brought to you by Loot Crate. Would you classify yourself as a geek, gamer, or pop culture nerd? Then this is the subscription box for you. For less than $20 a month, you get 6 to 8 items of gamer and pop culture licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, unique one-of-a-kind items, and more. Make sure to head to lootcrate.com/KFGames and enter code KFGames to save $3 on any new subscription. Not that long ago, and depending on where you live, not so far away, Loot Crate blasted off into a voyage across the galaxy, searching the far reaches of space to find universally awesome gear. Using December's Star Wars The Force Awakens loot as the launch pad, we landed on some equally cosmic items from Halo 5 and more. With an exclusive Funko Pop and an exclusive shirt in this month's crate, this is the loot you're looking for. Remember, you only have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate, and when the cutoff happens, that's it. It's over. So go to lootcrate.com/KFGames and enter code KFGames to save $3 on your new subscription today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever episode 47 of the Kinda Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by the coolest dudes in video games, Colin Moriarty and Greg Miller. And today, we are also joined by one half of the other coolest dudes in video games duo, Chris Waters from GameSpot.com.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
Yeah. Oh, I'm great.
Thank you for coming to our home.
It is my pleasure. Thank you for welcoming me in here.
Please, it's a pleasure.
What do you think?
It's great. You guys keep it nice and clean, which
we try.
as a matter of course.
That's Kevin.
We do.
It's all
Someone
Kevin.
has to still clean the house. So.
Yeah, this week is what I said. Tonight's my night.
Yeah, we'll see.
Tonight, gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Thank you for coming. Okay, that's enough.
Sorry.
We're gonna live it
Thank you,
on
Greg.
up
Thank you.
in the sky.
So why are you here today?
I'm here on a book tour.
What?
I wrote a book about video games.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
What's the title?
It's called The Gamer's Bucket List.
I'm doing this.
50 video games to play before you die.
The lower third is risen. People see it
Before
now.
you
You can get it right now on
die.
Amazon. Links in the description.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
We're going to talk all about that in the second topic of this show.
That's
We
a
shall.
tease. In the
Yeah,
business, we call
it
it
is
a tease.
First off, we got to get through a bunch of just bookkeeping and stuff.
Well,
PSX. It's happening soon.
PSX is happening.
Yes.
If you're watching this or listening to this, if you're a patron, you're listening 1 week before. If you're listening to this on a Monday or any day after that, you are listening to it the week of PlayStation Experience. It's here in San Francisco. December 5th is the day. That's Saturday. PSX is happening. Sony's got a whole bunch of cool stuff. Good for them. The big news, 5 p.m. Saturday, PS I Love You XOXO. Come there. We're in the main stage, main theater. We're the only podcast there. Please come out and support us. We have a whole bunch of surprises and shenanigans ready to happen.
Really?
Shenanigans.
You guys are bringing shenanigans in finally.
Finally.
You've been so restrained
all
by
these,
shenanigans.
all
Tim.
these stuffy suits in this thing. We're going to get in there and Sean Layden will tear his scarf off and we'll tell him, this is our show now, Layden. And then, Jillian's, we have a Kinda Funny meet and greet in partner with Just Cause 3 at Jillian's 8 o'clock on Saturday. All ages, free to get in, free food, bring money for booze.
And you don't need a PSX ticket to get in.
No, if you're just bumming around San Francisco and you're in for sure come, So everything's Saturday.
To be clear, you need a PSX ticket to get to the podcast.
Well, we had switched gears. We were talking about Jillian's.
Yeah, but it was unclear.
If you're somebody who can't keep it straight in your head, like Kevin, yes, you need to come to PSX and see the podcast at PSX where I tear Sean Layden's scarf off.
Sean
Layden. Oh, my shillelagh. Danny O'Dwyer getting in me. The spirit of the
God.
Irish. You know what I'm saying? Oi! PSX, you need a badge. Meet and
Impeccable.
greet, you don't.
Yeah. And
It's
there's
impeccable, right?
So on point.
2 exclusive shirts.
Two
being
exclusive
sold,
shirts will be there.
and they're good.
They're very good. Limited quantities. We will reveal them at the PSX panel for PS I Love You.
Thank you for saying that, because I was about to ruin this surprise, Greg.
No surprises will
I'm
be
happy
ruined.
I didn't. But speaking of shirts, there's also a sale going on for Black Friday, which if you're listening to this, you'd be listening to this either on Friday or over the week that the sale is occurring.
Oh, so it's a week-long
It's a
sale.
week-long sale from Friday to Friday.
Gotcha.
10% off everything in the store. And the most important thing, we're bringing back all of the T-Shirt Tuesday exclusive shirts from the last year.
Oh, neat.
They're coming back. And there's a Let Tim Host shirt, which is this month's T-Shirt Tuesday. and I like it a lot.
Are we putting that up on Tuesday? Or we just putting that up?
Putting it up on Friday.
Gotcha.
It's at the wholesale because I don't want to be messing with people and making. I want them to be able to order.
Kindoffunny.com/store.
Is
Go
your
buy 'em for your
self-esteem
friends and stuff.
directly tied to the sales numbers
Yes,
of that shirt?
entirely.
Yeah.
So
Is
please
Portillo
buy
still
that.
the best-selling shirt we have, though? Mm-hmm. God damn. That's where our self-esteem's at.
Yeah. Dogs
Fucking
have
loaf
them,
of
man.
a dog getting more views and more sales.
You're done.
Yeah, so check it out, kindoffunny.com/store. So yes, if you want this show early, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygamescast. Every week we talk about video games and stuff that we like. It's broken out topic by topic over on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. You know the drill by now. Let's get right into it. Topic 1 of the day. Star Wars Battlefront.
Ooh.
Who here's been playing it?
Me. You?
Yeah.
You raised your hand.
Yeah.
Kevin's raising his hands. Chris is raising his
Ken,
hand.
put your hand down.
Colin is the only person in the room not
So
raising his
your
hand.
only real experience with it was the Let's Play you did with one
Right.
Nick Scarpino.
Right.
Yes.
I don't have anything to say about it.
Nothing to say.
Nope, nothing at all.
You've been watching Greg play it though.
Are you gonna put me?
That was funny. No,
Yeah,
I was pulling
it
you out of the
was, it was,
conversation
it
and I brought you back.
I did. My whole thing on it is I'm interested in that it's settling in a lower Metacritic score than I thought it was going to get, and it seems like people like it, but also have complaints that it seems pretty shallow. It's not a very hardcore shooter. But when I watch Greg play it, all I can think about is like, what a waste. This would have been an awesome single player game. Look at these models. Look at these environments and the places they go and stuff. Like, what a fucking waste. That's the only thing I can think
Yeah.
of. That's all I have to say. I'm out.
Now, Colin.
So inherent in that though is part of you looking at it and saying, "Holy crap, this looks awesome!"
Oh, yeah, it looks
because
amazing.
You want it to be. You just want it in that single player format. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing about this game. I was playing it this weekend when I was away with some friends, and anyone who was in the room was just kind of watch.
Yep.
And like these are people who are not necessarily down with watching video games, and they're like, it just looks so damn good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christine was watching me play last night while she was packing for this trip, and she was looking over and she was just like, this game's beautiful. Like, this game is spectacularly pretty. The way the grass moves on indoors, you move around. Yeah.
Authentic is the word that I go to. Like
Okay.
it feels so Star Wars, and I love
Yeah.
that so much. The thing, Colin, that I want you to know is there is not like a campaign mode, but there is single player missions.
Yeah, that I know, but that's not.
But they're worth doing. The problem is, I do wish that there was like a story that kind of brought you through the things, and it was a little bit more. I wish there was more there, but really, it is just random missions as if you were playing them out of order and without any story or context. But like they're fucking awesome. The tutorial missions, like the Endor chase and like the X-wing.
I did the
thing.
X-wing one
Like,
last night.
I liked it. It's like, hey, all the fun shit that you want to do, here, you just get thrown right into it. And the survival modes, I haven't even played online at all.
Yeah.
I've just done the single player stuff, and I'm having a great time with it.
Interesting.
It's definitely shallow. It definitely is not a super deep shooter game. Like it's interesting to me that like it feels like a old school like PS2 era game, and the way that the weapon systems work,
Like a
and,
Battlefront
like,
game.
Very true. It does feel like a Battlefront game compared to a Battlefield game, which I thought it was going to be a little bit more updated feeling than it is.
Yeah. So I wonder, campaign-wise, like obviously a single-player campaign is a whole different undertaking. That's a whole different scope of the project. What if they had done something like Titanfall, where they are using the maps that you see in the competitive multiplayer, using sections there, and just kind of like scripting some waves of enemies and like loosely tying it together along sort of some kind of story involving an elite rebel squad or a specific imperial detachment. Like, would that have done it for you? You think?
Yeah, anything. It's just I don't like multiplayer games, so I mean, it's just my bias against multiplayer, and I just see a studio as talented as DICE, obviously with a lot of online bona fides, making the game. Yeah, something that Titanfall, I mean, is another game that's clearly suffered at retail and in longevity because of its lack of single player functionality in terms of like something meaningful. I mean, just because you can play a game by yourself doesn't mean it has a campaign or something that's worth delving into. I mean, this is not the spirit of the game though. So I understand that that I'm looking for something that's not really there. But what I had mentioned on Colin and Greg, which I think would be fun and interesting and something that maybe they'll consider doing, is like, now the assets exist, now this engine's obviously running in this particular way in this particular universe. Why not let they're clearly they already said they're gonna make more Battlefront. So why not let DICE continue to do that and shift that shit off to another studio that can take a lot of those assets and just make a single player campaign for the next game or whatever? Because it's I really feel like Battlefront is going to not benefit from not having a robust campaign in the same way that people complain about Titanfall. It's just that it's Star Wars, so it's going to sell 15 million copies or whatever and be totally fine. It's just, I think there's more that could have been done here, especially considering the game isn't quite as deep as I expected it to be anecdotally from what I've been hearing from people. Like those are the two things I hear, is there's just not much meat on the bone and it's not very hardcore. Like it's a very casual kind of shooter, and compared to some of the other shooters people play like COD or something like that. So,
well, what's interesting is like, is that good enough, right? Like I'm right there with you. I don't play multiplayer games, right? That's not really what I get into. I don't get into shooters all that much either. And like, it was, I forget what trailer it was where we were watching. I was like, damn, that actually looks kind of interesting. And then I watched you guys do your Let's Play. I was like, damn, that looks fun. And then when it got here and I popped it in, for me, and like, I gotta pull back the curtain here. Like right now we're recording this right before Thanksgiving, right? So I'd platinumed Fallout, and then it was like I don't want to start Tomb Raider yet because I'm going away for Thanksgiving. So what do I? Oh yeah, Battlefront. Oh, Battlefront's out, great. And now it's just like, yeah, I pop in, I play a match, and then somebody needs me for something else, I go do something, or I sit there and like the night one, Kevin and I sat down and played. Like the hours melted away. I haven't had that experience in a while. Where Christine came out and tapped me on the shoulder. I'm like, yeah, what's up? She's like, I'm going to bed. I'm like, what? What time is it? What are you talking about? I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, I'll be in a little bit. And then it was another.
I just want you to know.
It was another 2 hours before Kevin and I were done because he wanted to get his jetpack, and it was just like
classic Kevin.
Oh, you
Damn.
gotta get that jetpack. I'm missing it so bad from the beta. Oh, it's the best.
And that's the thing is like it's just right now it's that perfect level of like it is definitely a light, first person shooter. It isn't, getting in and trying to play Call of Duty or something online for me, which has been a turnoff. But this one is, I'm getting in, I'm competitive, I'm there, and I feel like I'm making progress and I'm having fun. And I'm just playing deathmatch. I haven't tried any. Last night Christine was watching, like, so when does somebody become Vader? I'm like, it's a different mode. I don't even know. I'm just running around shooting stuff.
You're not trying to fly X-Wings?
No, I'm like just running around shooting stuff for now, having fun, trying to unlock that Han blaster everybody has. That's awesome. Well, I stick there. But it's like, there's something, it's easy enough to wrap your head around and get good at and go. Now, the thing about it is, when I come back, maybe by the time this posts, am I still playing Battlefront? I don't know. You know what I mean? Have I moved on to something else? Or is it still that fun Bazooka Joe distraction, right? Of like, well, I got 30 minutes. Why not play a little bit?
I think it's occupying an interesting space because it is a big budget AAA shooter, right?
Yeah.
And the other ones you see sort of in that space, your Halo, your Call of Duty, those games, are intimidating to people, I think. Those games are... Oh man, like, what do you think of if you're someone who doesn't play multiplayer shooters a lot? Those have the strength of a campaign going for them. But in terms of like competitive play, in terms of a multiplayer shooter kind of pace and feel, I think that Battlefront casting the net wide is a great thing. I think that people who see these commercials of the X-Wing coming up outside of a building and like jumping out, like I think those people exist in the millions.
Yeah.
Like I have like. Maybe like 10% of my friends that I grew up playing with video games still actively play video games today. But a lot of them are like all of a sudden texting me about this game, about Battlefront.
Same thing with me. My friend Poe, right, who doesn't own a current gen console, hit me up. He's like, so is this Battlefront game going to be awesome? Because he's a Star Wars fan and it looks awesome and it's right there for him. And so, yeah, it is awesome for him.
And I think that the visual spectacle, the fact that it is so Star Wars, the fact that it's backed by DICE, like it just sounds incredible. And then also, there are bullet tracers and stuff you can see in Battlefield, but seeing blaster fire, like that just gives, like the fact that it's a neon line streaking across, it just gives the Battlefield such a great feel. I think that it's a success in a lot of ways, and I've been having a good time with it. But yeah, it's a good question. Am I going to be digging it in 2 weeks? I don't know.
And that's the thing. And it's one of those I honestly don't have an answer for. I would think no, that I'll jump in and I'll go into Tomb Raider and then play more Assassin's Creed and da-da. But I'm going to have those moments where it's like, I got 45 minutes. Like, what do I? I'm not going to go and try to do something in Tomb Raider. I could easily sit here and do that. And it's fun because it's interesting, I should say, because like the night one when I was out there and you were talking to me about it, Colin, right? We were having this conversation about multiplayer shooters and how there's no story. And I was saying, well, like I've always thought part of multiplayer shooters is taking these maps, these basic tools, and making your own story, right? Of those moments you remember. And now as I go back to these maps for like the 7th, 8th, dozenth time, you know what I mean? It is that thing of like, oh, remember when I had that kill streak right over there? So if I run over, oh wait, and there's a guy who always hides over, you know what I mean? Like getting those little things of like, fuck, I'm enjoying this and like totally starting to love like these little things about it.
That's cool, but that's not the thing about, I mean, that is cool. And I love watching these little vines people put up or these short videos of people. I saw someone, I think it was Ryan Albert, put up a video of Luke force pushing a snowtrooper into a TIE fighter, which I like, that was flying by. I was like, that's fucking cool. I mean, there's a lot of cool. There's a lot of cool moments, but that, like what you're saying is not unique to Battlefront. And so that's
100%.
And so
no, I know that.
That's not, I mean, that's a unique thing to just any game you play online. So I'm curious as an outside observer. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm a fucking massive Star Wars fan. But as an outside observer who has no interest in playing this game, I'm interested in two things. I'm interested in seeing the legs on this game. The game's clearly going to sell, but we saw a significant, again, Titanfall is really the ancillary to this in terms of a game that had no single player offerings that made people want to keep the game for a long period of time. And I know that people point at Call of Duty and they're like, well, who cares about the campaign? Well, a lot of people do. When we talked to the guys that I play the campaign in Call of Duty every year, I have for years. So it's like, that's all I play. I don't care about anything else. So, because it's like I always say, it's like my weekend action movie, and they're fucking finely made games. But when we talked to the guys from Sledgehammer when we did GameStop Expo, they were like, well, you'd be surprised like how many people are actually like you. Because I thought I was in the minority, and they're like, our statistics show that it's actually more than you think. So I'm interested to see the legs of this game. And I'm also interested to see, as a side of that, how people are already reacting very negatively to the season pass. Not surprisingly, and a game that is seemingly somewhat shallow on the outside are going to be injected with a lot of content now. It's going to rub people the wrong way. So I'm interested to see how that all unfolds. But I'm also interested to see, now that the tech's been there. I mean, DICE is using familiar engine and stuff like that. But now that like we said, the universe is there and the confines of the Star Wars universe are there, how bulky will the next game be? Because they have a lot of shit that's done already, and how much will they be able to expand now with Episode 7 and Rogue One and all that kind of stuff that they are able to inject in this game when the time comes. So as an outside observer, I'm just interested to see how this does, because this is clearly going to make a lot of money, but is it going to win a lot of goodwill from the gamer in the long run because of its shallowness? When there are more hardcore shooters out there, because you look at Call of Duty, I have not played the new Call of Duty yet in any substantial way. I did 2 videos for our site, but I have not sat down and played it. But it has a campaign, it has zombies mode, which is going to be awesome, and it is awesome for a lot of people. And then it has a whole online suite, and it's the same price. So it's like, you have to, and the online component of Call of Duty is certainly deeper, just that section of it. So it's I can understand why people are a little upset or a little skeptical. And
well, what's interesting is it's back to the question of will they vote with their wallet, and it's also back to the financials of EA, right? They've got me, and on paper, I shouldn't give 2 shits about this game. I don't like multiplayer games, and Star Wars is fine. You know what I mean? Like, you guys were like, let's watch each movie and do a review. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to watch them again. You know what I mean? But like, I enjoy it. I like it fine. I'm not like a hater. But it's like, I'm into this game, imposed into this game, and your friends are asking you about this game. So it's like, if they bring those people in, then we get down to the fact of like, yeah, what if then the people who are like complaining right now, it's not that deep, if they stick around. Think about how many people stuck around with Destiny when that was vanilla, right? Yeah. And not that they're the same thing. Obviously, there was customization in Destiny, this, that, and the other. I'm not saying exactly the same thing. But if you get over that hump and you stick with it, maybe it works out. I don't know.
Sure. I think there's a question here about like what keeps people engaged in a shooter. Is it a deep unlock tree? Is it being able to prestige over and over again? Is it hardcore mechanics, like something that you would see, I guess, in a Battlefield, in terms of like the interplay and the drastically different roles you can play within that game? Or is it like, for Battlefront, what would its longevity look like? It would look like someone who has 30 minutes, 45 minutes one night just being like, look, I want to get in there, I want to blast somebody, I want to like get in an ATST for a hot minute and blast some people and get blown up and then be done. Like, I think this is like, but I'm immersed in this rich world of Star Wars, and I think that is a value add that we shouldn't discount in terms of people's ongoing satisfaction and enjoyment with the game. Like, people are going to be hyped about Star Wars well through December, well into the new year, and even though it's, the new trilogy, still they're going to be coming back to that old like Star Wars feel to like have their lightsaber moment, have that stuff. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little more longevity out of this than Titanfall, just because of the Star Wars appeal. Yeah,
I mean, the license, I think, is the most important part, and that's, I think, why it's so shallow of a product. The fact that so much attention was given to the little things and to the beams and to the music and to the look of everything, that like each map needs to be exactly right, and it is. Yeah, and like I think that's where the DLC is going to come in and like give those people the new little fresh, like, oh cool,
another reason to jump in and play for a week,
especially like they're releasing the Jakku or whatever planet in December. Right when people are going to be watching Force Awakens, seeing that planet for the first time, like people are going to be stoked.
Yeah, it's for Titanfall, which was a hardcore shooter, right? In terms of like the skill trees and this, that, and the other. Like for me, I remember when I regen the first time, and like it was such a turnoff to me. That's prestiging or whatever, and you start back at 0, and then it's like, all right, to get to the next level, to do this, you have to get like 50 shotgun kills and this, that, and I was like, I don't want to do this. Like I was progressing and making something. So like right now, I am set on getting to level 15, getting my jetpack, but more importantly, being able to buy the head with the girl who has the ponytail. That's what I want. I want out of the Stormtrooper helmet and this weird ass helmet the Rebels have, and I want my ponytail bopping around. You know what I mean? Like that's totally goofy and shallow and weird. But like at the end, when I have it where I've unlocked the jetpack, the ponytail, whatever else
are you talking about a Twi'lek here? Is that what you're saying? The ponytail wraps around.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
No, it's just a totally normal girl ponytail. Okay. The crazy heads are way later. Way later.
Yeah.
I just want a ponytail.
That's like level 40. I'm like, that's deep. That's a deep investment.
When Adam Kovic was here, we chose for both this. I'm just like some 55-year-old old lady running around the blaster, and I want her to go down.
I love that they have these old people.
Yeah, they've seen some shit, man, in the Empire. They gotta know what's up.
Yeah, I think think to the point you guys are making, I think that the game was, I don't want to say focus tested because I'm sure it was, but it's definitely a lowest common denominator shooter, and I think that's what's going to, at least that's my impression of it. And I played it for that time on a Let's Play, and I was way too good at it considering that I'm not a multiplayer guy. So I'm like, yeah, this is, I'm not saying I was great at it, but I'm like, this is not Call of Duty.
Didn't feel good to be good though.
Yeah, no, it did, and that's the thing. I think you're right that this probably is a more casual game aimed at a more casual audience. It's not an insult. It's to say that, yeah, this is probably what the void it's trying to fill, and I think it's going to fill it very successfully monetarily. And we'll see, Star Wars is definitely going to benefit from, being part of the zeitgeist for the next 6 years. So it's not like people are going to forget about it, and then it will have more legs than Titanfall because Titanfall didn't sell very well. So this is certainly going to proliferate more than that game, but. Yeah, I also understand people's reservations about it, and I do think the season pass shit's getting a little out of control now. And people are going to speak with their wallet and buy these things, and that's great. But there is something unsavory about it. But it's the same way I felt about Batman, and it's so I get people's complaints about it as well. But does it look fun and like kind of just even if it's ephemeral, it still seems like something that's there. It's fan service over the top fan service. At the end of the day, I mean the Battle of Hoth is fun, but I'm also like. Why are there A-wings and TIE interceptors here and shit? Like, what is going on here? So it's a little.
You're the only one, Colin.
No, I am definitely not. I guarantee you, knowing Star Wars nerds like I do, I am not the only one that's wondering why there's X-wings fighting. When we have snow speeders fighting because they're atmospheric craft. Snow speeders can't go into space, Kevin. So it's
especially when the TIE fighters can just fly over the snow speeders and shoot them because the snow speeders can't go real high.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So it is like it's like something Colin would have made up when I was 8 years old and playing with my toys or my blocks and making these that is what it is.
And that's awesome.
It is awesome, but at the same time, we've seen the Battle of Hoth so many times, in Rogue Squadron games and all that kind of stuff. It's like these are and going back to the PC games, and we've seen these battles many times, so it's hard for me to say like I would like to do that again, but I'd like to do it again, and I would like to just do the AT-ATs and the snow speeders and just fucking have it out as opposed to this maelstrom of fucking nonsense that's basically going on over the planet. It's like insane. It's completely insane. Vader's like running around. Luke's running around dressed as he's dressed. It looks like in Jedi. It doesn't make any sense. Don't we understand that, Kevin? I think he has his green lightsaber, which he didn't even build until Shadows of the Empire.
How do you feel about the Emperor's move, his mobility? Have you seen this move? So his move is like a dash. So he's walking around, but he has a dash move that's like a Psycho Crusher. Like he's like M. Bison. He just twirls and but he's wearing a long cloak, so it like furls out all around him like he's doing some sort of pirouette. It's the silliest looking thing. I laugh every time I see it, but it's kind of delightful.
Well, he's down there fighting on Hoth. He doesn't have anything better to do.
Exactly.
It's good for troop morale to see.
Sure.
He's
one of us.
Dirty. Yeah.
The one thing that I'm happy about, like talking about the casual thing, is I think that they nailed the getting people to the fun parts fast and having them have it be pretty easy to understand and grasp and do cool shit. Like when you're flying the X-Wing, it just makes sense. And you're like, in the tutorial missions, there's like a canyon run thing you do. And it's like, you start getting ballsy and like trying to find little holes to squeeze through and like turn the ship and stuff. And it's fun. And the same thing with the Endor chase and like you can just jump in and play as Vader or the Emperor and just fuck shit up. And it's like within 5 minutes of turning the game on, you could play as Vader if you want, just fuck things up and understand how to do it. And the controls are pretty simple.
Well, if you get lucky and grab the little blue ghost coin faster than your teammates do.
Well, no, I'm talking about like in the
in a different mode. Yeah, you totally can.
And it's like that's cool. I like because I was worried that you'd have to fucking level up and do all this other shit. But,
I had a fun battle between Luke Skywalker and Boba Fett. There's a mode where you choose a hero and then you have like. You play like one-on-one versus AI or versus your buddy, and then you have like AI people accompanying you. You have your like squad you're fighting with of just rando soldiers, and then it's like kill confirmed in Call of Duty. They drop tokens, you have to pick them up. But like we're inside this hangar, and so like Boba Fett obviously super mobile, jetpack and all around, but Luke is actually also quite mobile. He jumps really high, and it was just this like epic duel of Fett versus Skywalker, like trying to pin each other down, and like. Totally absurd, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm like that's gonna be fun 5 times.
Yeah.
It was fun once.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
And again, Luke never even encountered Boba Fett, so I'm just saying.
Non-canonical.
Doesn't
when he gets eaten by the pit, remember? And remember that Boba Fett, of course, was a clone who wasn't programmed.
Doesn't he reflect the bullet?
Oh, right. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought that was Han, though.
I know blood.
I heard that Han shot first, was it?
Yeah, he did.
Did you hear that Boba Fett is just a clone that is in program?
There is a trophy in Super Star Wars on PS4 and Vita. for Han to shoot first at Greedo in the game, and then in parentheses says yes, it's possible. And I don't think anyone has it yet. I was
That's
interested to
awesome.
see how it goes down. Yeah, no, I was being facetious.
There's a shoot first silver in Battlefront for getting the first kill. I got it.
Good.
All
You're so
right.
good.
Yeah.
Killed myself.